really charge its way through Scott County now. So if you're watching us from Forest or Norris, you certainly want to take action now. Go to your safe place. This cell has had a history of producing a tornado, which has been producing damage. And it looks like this cell continues to maintain its strength as it charges its way through Scott County now. So as we take a look, if we were going to think about where this tornado is located, as we take a look at maybe the threat tracker here, and this might not be updated, but this is still holding it just to the east of Pelahatchie. That might be a little bit old data. I think looking at base reflectivity, I think it's more closer to Morton, and let me circle the area for you exactly where I'm talking about. I think it'd be somewhere around this area. So Pulaski, Morton, you are certainly under the gun at this time, and look out, Forest and also Norris, because this dangerous storm is headed your way, and it certainly means business. Go to the lowest level of a sturdy structure. This is nothing to take lightly, folks. We have been seeing tornado damage throughout the Jackson area. These supercell storms are rotating thunderstorms that continue to produce tornadoes throughout central Mississippi. And if we span it out here just to give you a look on what's happening for the rest of the region, things are beginning to quiet down to the west of Jackson. So you're pretty much in the clear. That's great news. We're still watching on what happens down to the south of Copiah County. There's still some cells down there that certainly could become a little more energized, but hopefully that's not the case. So we've got the tornado warning for Scott County until 7:45. That is a tornado warned storm. So we certainly will continue to monitor the situation as it charges its way through Scott County. Take action right now, folks. This is a very serious situation. Adam?
Yeah, just got some reports right now of a report of a possible tornado in the Gallman area. Let's go over to Storm Shield 16 3D, and I'll zoom down towards the Gallman area, and you can see we do have some impressive rotation coming into the Gallman area right now, crossing Interstate 55 and Highway 51. If you live in the Gallman area, now is the time. The storm is right on top of you. You need to go to your shelter immediately if you live in the Gallman area. However, if you live in Crystal Springs or in the Hazelhurst area, too close for comfort, we really do want you in your safe place. The storm will continue moving due east. So after Gallman, after it hits the Gallman area, the next cities in the path of this will be Hopewell and Georgetown, and then this will cross over the Pearl River into northern Simpson County. So tornado warning continues in effect until 8 p.m. for Copiah and Rankin County. Also, too, zooming back into the storm coming into Scott County in near the Morton area. Let's turn on the reflectivity there. And I don't believe that this is a update. It's kind of old. Let's go back over to the live Storm Shield 16 Doppler radar, and we'll hand it back over to Nathan.
Well, Adam, we're still watching it. Intense cell now continue to work its way through Scott County. So if you're just tuning in and you're watching us from Forest or Norris, you certainly want to take shelter at this time. This cell has made its way through a large part of central Mississippi, and we're going to turn it now to Megan and Stephanie with more information.
Okay, guys, we want to start off with some video we actually have of our crews in Madison County just a moment ago running for cover as the storm moves there. You can see it at a gas station there, driving into the area as the storm was coming through.
And you can see, you know, trash cans, things like that. If you leave that outside and you have a major storm coming through, all of that is starting to move, and that's even dangerous for folks.
It sure is, and I just want to mention, you know, we've been talking about damage reports. I've been reading a few things from folks on Twitter talking about the Lake Caroline neighborhood, damage to several homes there, specifically some roofs and some homes in Lake Caroline. We're going to try to get a crew up there when we can to see what is going on there at Lake Caroline in Madison County.
And a lot of damage also. This is actually Edwards right here. You can see the storm cloud here. But I want to mention, and Megan and I have been looking at Twitter and getting a lot of messages from people. There's a lot of damage also in Brandon. We understand that Bob Boyd Honda in Brandon, all of the workers got to the center of the building and the roof came off. And I actually, if the folks in the newsroom, I tweeted it to them. There is a picture of the roof off, and we could try to get that, and maybe we could show that to our viewers at some point. But apparently everyone is okay at Bob Boyd Honda, but just some of the damage and trees down and damage at homes in Brandon.
And we're learning so much more about the situation in Winston County, so hard hit. We know 2 tornadoes there. Our own Emily Alexander is there, I believe, outside the hospital.
Winston Medical Center in Winston County here in Louisville, where you can see it's just mass chaos. There are cops, ambulances, and fire trucks everywhere. The cops are not letting anyone into the parking lot except for emergency personnel. We've heard reports of walls being down, and they said there was a strange smell earlier. They're looking into the possibility of a gas leak. But right now, just chaos altogether in Louisville. As you can see, still storming, thunder and lightning. We'll keep you posted on WAPT and WAPT.com. Right now in Louisville, Emily Alexander, 16 WAPT News.
And just want to remind you, we did hear reports of 4 confirmed fatalities in Louisville. 2 of those we're learning more about. The owner of a daycare, a resident of Plattsburgh there in Louisville.
And you can see the damage there. You know, they've had to evacuate people out of that hospital there because it's so badly damaged there. Also, we want to show you damage. This is from much earlier in the day. We have the damage in Tupelo, where they were hit hard by a tornado. That's up in Lee County. You can see the tornado right there, and they were dealing with down power lines, damage to homes. We did hear reports of injuries. Still haven't really heard anything about the extent of the injuries and the number of injuries, so still waiting to hear that. I'm sure those crews up there are very busy.
Yeah, that's right. I was reading earlier, Governor Bryant and officials from MEMA were sending crews up there to Lee County. This was the area they were talking about 5 o'clock today, when they were already calling this the worst series of storms to hit Mississippi. And this was before what we've even seen in the metro area, and even that second round there in Louisville and Winston County.
And I think we've got some more pictures. Yeah, you can see after that storm passed, you can see right there all of that damage in Tupelo. Heard about the mall there, several restaurants there that had damage, several major highways that are closed. And I believe I heard that there's even a curfew for the city of Tupelo.
There is, I believe, 10 o'clock tonight, and they're asking folks, you know, of course, not to get out and not to try to take a look at this damage, to go on home if they're able to get to their homes, and leave the roads open to first responders and police officers, fire departments, people who need to be out on the roads.
We also have some rain we want to show you. Look at this. This is some of that heavy rain coming down as part of the storms. And the thing is, what's telling about this storm, when David Hartman says something, we've got tornadoes everywhere. And you can tell that he's overwhelmed by all the storms that we're dealing with at one time. That's when you know this is serious stuff.
And I know we have some more video of some trees down. Our producers are telling us. Where is this again, guys?
I think that's at Woodhaven, Brownsville.
In Brownsville. Okay. Yeah, we talked so much about this area of Hinds County. You can see crews out there working to chop those trees. It's amazing how quickly some folks get out after storms like this and try to get the highways and the interstates back open.
I think the governor, if I read correctly, the governor and MEMA will be having another briefing coming up later this evening. We weren't even able to get to the first briefing because we were really in the thick of those storms and just weren't able to find out the information that they had.
That's right. This is Scott Simmons there on the Yazoo River Bridge when the storms were first rolling in this morning, out there in all of this winds and all of the rain coming down there in Yazoo.
I don't think any of us have ever experienced anything like this, where you just have so many storms coming at one time, and it just, when you think things are going to calm down, it just keeps getting back crazier. And that's exactly the best way to explain it, is craziness.
Well, as I was saying earlier, you know, I've worked here 8 years, and this is the first time I've ever been here when all of us had to go in to the safe room. Folks from our newsroom, basically just the weather department, left out here in the studio as the storm passed right over 16 WAPT down Highway 18 through South Jackson.
Well, let's go back. I think you guys, have you had enough of a break? You know, no, they need some more time. Let's see if we've got some more pictures or video that we can show our viewers of just exactly what's been going on all day. That's some more storm video. You can see that tornado. Tell me again where that is.
In Edwards.
That's in Edwards. Okay, that's Edwards in Hinds County. Once again, you can see the tornado, and that was the one that kind of passed through over 20 that had us concerned, and that was the one that caused us to have to evacuate to our storm shelter here.
That's exactly right. And further down I-20, we talked a few moments ago about some metal on the interstate near Airport Road. I'm seeing some pictures right now online on Twitter from Richland of more metal on what may be Highway 49. We're going to try to get our newsroom to work on those damage reports and get some confirmation for us. We talked about how Richland was in the path of the storm, how there might be some damage there, and I can see it as I look at these pictures. Definitely what looks like some 18-wheelers wrecked there, and tons of structures, buildings just on the ground in pieces right now.
And in Rankin County, they were even telling people, if you're trapped, if you can't get out of your homes, call 911, let us know, because they did not know immediately where all the problem spots were.
Yeah, that's right. It's 16 WAPT's Tammy Eswick out right now. Let's see what she's got. I'm Tammy Eswick. We're on Old Jackson Road in Canton. Now, neighbors are claiming that a tornado passed through their area and did this damage. Take a look at this roof. Shingles missing off of the roof. And then one neighbor right next door says this is what it did to his AC unit. You can see that it's tilting. Take a walk with me into the backyard. You'll see this tree ripped out of the ground. We found several trees near this road the same way. Neighbors once again claiming that this was a tornado that has not yet been confirmed, but it is a possibility. We'll continue to bring you the latest storm damage from the Canton area coming up on 16 WAPT News. For now, I'm Tammy Eswick for 16 WAPT News.
And that's an area of Madison County that had a lot of damage as well. Lake Caroline, up in that area, a lot of damage.
I mean, it really is every county in the metro area. As we're watching those storms move in, we know that we've got damage in Rankin County. We know it's there in Madison County and in Hinds County there as well.
So it's going to keep emergency crews very busy. Of course, insurance companies are going to be very busy tomorrow. I know a lot of folks are going to be making that phone call, trying to talk about all the damage that they have and trying to get all of that fixed.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of this was coming down as so many people who were at work today were attempting to leave work. So we know that there are people who perhaps still have not made it back to their homes yet to see what the situation is.
And of course, this started yesterday. We got the reports from Arkansas and, you know, the deadly tornadoes there. And we knew what it did in Arkansas. And so we were hopefully we're bracing ourselves for what was going to happen here in Mississippi.
Yeah, in that briefing that happened at 5 o'clock today that we talked so much about, MEMA officials said that they knew that there were mass casualties. They were not prepared at that point to talk about how many or where those were, but we are hoping to get more information. Of course, everybody was hoping that this wouldn't be anything like what we saw in Arkansas and Oklahoma, but we're expecting to get more information when we hear from those officials.
Oh, that's the area of Brownsville once again. You can see, look at all of those. Those are not just little trees. Those are big trees blocking the road right there, and you can see some folks are already trying to get out and try to clean some of those trees up. And we do want to emphasize to folks, we know you want to get out and clean things, but you have to be very careful. You're dealing with power lines, big trees, gas lines, all kinds of things that really could hurt you after the fact. So you've got to be very careful out there.
And along with that, you do have to be careful. But if you see something in your neighborhood that you want us to know about, share those pictures with us. You can do it on WAPT.com using our local section. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it on Twitter. This is some more video recently.
Yeah, I understand this is Highway 49, the Live Oaks neighborhood. Is that correct? Is this like the Richland area? Can you guys tell me? Can you confirm that for me? Because we know we obviously had some problems in Richland and Rankin County. But he said this is the Live Oaks neighborhood. Okay, Highway 49 and Live Oaks. That's correct. David, yes, confirm for me that's in Rankin County. And you can see right there, that's an area that was hit as well.
Yeah, and I believe we're going to send it back over to David Hartman right now.
All right, thank you, Bridget. A little bit of a break there. Here is the severe weather outbreak in progress. Tennessee has gotten lucky because all the storms that have developed across Mississippi choked everything off, so a heavy rain flash flood situation. A lot of the rough stuff just coming into northwest Alabama will be moving up between Birmingham and Huntsville over the next couple of hours. Here in northeast Mississippi, still some rain around up towards Starkville, Columbus, but I think they're out of the severe weather risk. And everywhere to the northwest of this line is out of the severe weather risk. That is the good news. Now, I want to tell you that we are having severe weather today. And it does look like parts of these, we're going to do this again tomorrow for parts of the state. The question will be what part of the state, and a lot of it is going to be determined by what happens over the next couple of hours. When these storms die off a little bit later tonight, probably let a boundary, a rain-cooled boundary down, and when energy comes by tomorrow with the actual cold front, bam, we're going to get hit again. Primarily looks like the eastern half of the state over into Alabama, but once again, the threat of strong tornadoes will be possible tomorrow. Right now, we're thinking the eastern half of the state. If I had to draw a line, I'd say I-55 and to the east right now. Haven't had a whole lot of time. That's kind of what I was doing right now, but I have not had a whole lot of time to be looking at forecast information. Here is the, this is a composite, so it might be a little hotter than the regular radar would be. You can see how we just have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings up here in the northeast part of the state. They turn into flash flood warnings. And again, if there is going to be any severe weather over the next couple of hours, it will be to the east and to the south of the Jackson metro area. Right now, the strongest storm continues to be that same storm that moved across Hines, Rankin, and now is in the vicinity of Forest. Moved across the Forest area right now. Very strong winds in association with that. Further to the south, right now I don't know that these storms are going to be able to get severe yet. But as they move to the east, they may be able to intensify. Now, we still do have the tornado warning for northeastern Copiah County down over into Simpson County, which covers right into the Mendenhall area. And I want to throw it over to Adam right now, and he's going to give us an update on what that is going. And if you've been watching all afternoon, you know that storm doesn't look anything like the storms we've been tracking all day. So what do you have?
All right, right now, David, we are having a little bit of a weak, broad rotation right now across extreme northwestern Simpson County right now. The warning does include you folks in Harrisville and Braxton, but looking at the radar image, it looks like maybe the storm is taking more of a slight northeast turn, so the circulation actually could cross over into Rankin County between Star and Piney Woods along Highway 49. We'll continue to have to watch radar trends for that. But if you look at this area right here across southern Rankin County, it looks really messy.